Hello, everyone. Welcome to FREEWrite Friday. My name is Jessica Lynn Johnson, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to give you a little backstory. I am the founder of Soaring Solo Studios, which is a company that's dedicated to developing, directing, and producing one-person plays all over the world. And I am blessed to work alongside fellow award-winning solo theater instructor, director, and performer, Heather Dowling. She's the other half of Soaring Solo, and we work with clients all over the globe: Africa, Mexico, Chicago, New York, Canada, Los Angeles, Florida, everywhere. So we love what we do and get to work with people all over the globe. I've been in this field both as a performer and coach for over 20 years, and I've helped develop and direct over 150 solo shows and toured myself as a solo artist. I'm on the advisory board with the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. I'm a blogger for NoHo Arts. I write a blog called Soaring Solo, which has a bunch of tips for solo artists. So all about solo and really love it. And that's a little bit about me, a little bit about Heather, and I'd love to hear about you. So please feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Where you're at in your solo theater journey. Maybe you're just curious about doing a solo show, but you haven't committed to it yet, or maybe you're already touring with a show, or somewhere in between in the writing process. But yeah, I would love to hear all about that. So say hi in the chat. And for those of you new to FREEWrite Friday, each episode is meant to stand alone so that you can create content in this session of FREEWrite Friday, whether you went to previous ones or not. And if you are interested in going back and watching the other FREEWrite Fridays, I have them on my YouTube channel, and I'll put that link in the chat a little bit later. But yeah, it's just an opportunity to come together and have support and community and accountability in making progress on our solo shows. And we really focus on writing and the structure of solo shows in FREEWrite Friday. So it's a little bit different than my free Saturday class. And FREEWrite Friday ends up taking about 20 to 30 minutes tops. So we should get you in and out and make some good progress today. Okay, so we've been looking at Save the Cat, which is written by Blake Snyder, who was a Hollywood screenplay writer. And we're looking at his structure for writing a screenplay, but I'm adapting it through the lens of a solo artist and trying to use his structure through the lens of solo theater. And we've been really looking at the finale in our last couple of FREEWrite Friday sessions, because Blake breaks down the finale of a script into 5 different points. And so we looked at the first 2, and today we're going to focus on point 3 of his finale breakdown, and that's called the High Tower Surprise. Point 3 is called the High Tower Surprise. And so essentially that's when we're getting toward the end of the show and it seems like everything is wrapping up, everything's looking good, it's about to end, the protagonist is winning, they're having we're entering the happy ending, and then all of a sudden there's another obstacle, there's another conflict, there's something that gets in the way of that wrapping up moment of the end. So to give you some examples from the Soaring Solo community to make this a little more tangible, we have the show Enlightened by Cindy Chavez, and that focuses on the character named C. And C's character battles body image issues and unworthiness and a lot of internal struggles and external struggles to pursue her dreams and really accept herself throughout the show. That's kind of the premise. And because it's a very fantastical, whimsical show, one of the main characters is the Shame Witch. And the Shame Witch is this sounds like it really is what it sounds like, just this terrible character who shames her constantly and puts her down. And toward the end of the show, Cindy's character, C, has gone to this enlightenment retreat, and she's, discovered a lot of things that weren't working about her life and her inner world. And it seems like the show is wrapping up and she's really got a handle on these problems. And then all of a sudden, the Shame Witch returns. But the difference is now little C's character is not the same person. She's not the same as she was when she got visits from the Shame Witch before. Now she has new tools, she has new experiences, she has enlightenment, different things that are helping her be a different person. So we then, as the audience, wonder, okay, well, how's this exchange going to go down? Because she's not the same person that she was. So to find out how that goes down, you'll have to come to see the show in the Stars series on December 9th. I'll put the link in the chat later. And I'll give you another example, also centering around the character of shame, but a different version of that in Lisa Natali's show Grit. And similarly, in the show Grit, Lisa's character really battles insecurity, unworthiness, and body image issues. And she, coming from abuse in her background and some really toxic relationships, and ends up in the strip club scene for a long time, in also very toxic relationships, both platonic and romantic, and with herself. So that's the struggle of the show. And throughout the show, she has these other voices of grit, her inner strength and resilience, and the character of shame. And they're both kind of battling for her to listen to them throughout the show. And so towards the end of the show, Lisa's character is finally, she's left the strip club world. She's now teaching fitness, and she's, empowering other young women with similar issues, and she's going to 12-step. And, it just seems like, wow, this is the end of the show. Everything's going great. And she's listening to Grit. And then shame comes back in, and now shame's attacking her for being a 50-year-old woman and aging, and like the way she looks, and what she's accomplished by this point in her life. And it's just attacking her for whole new reasons. But again, Lisa's not the same person that she was. She's gone on this whole journey. And so even though shame might look the same, and shame is coming in with similar messages, Lisa's not the same. So those are two examples from the community that represent that high tower surprise. It's not a very good surprise, but it's that obstacle, that conflict that kind of comes in as things are wrapping up. And we as the audience are wondering, how is our protagonist going to respond to this? Because they're a different person now. So before I have you write, I want you to make this personal for yourself, and really look at your own life circumstances. And when did it feel like you finally got your stride back? You finally understood why you were making certain mistakes. It felt like your life was much better, and things were looking up. And then all of a sudden, one of those problems or problem people or problem circumstances came back. And you're like, how am I facing this again? I'm a different person. I did all this healing and transformation, and this problem's coming back again. So I think we can all relate to that in our lives. So maybe that's, you've dated jerks your whole life. You've just dated jerks, and you stop, you pause, you start doing all this work on yourself. And then you decide, hey, I'm going to date again. And you go on a date, and it's a jerk. It's another jerk again. But you're different now. And what you will tolerate is different now. And your red flag awareness is different now. Or any similar scenario in which the old problem, the old conflict, the toxic relationship dynamics, whatever it is, comes back around. But you can really realize you're not the same person you were when you had to deal with this last time. So hopefully these different examples are bringing up some memories for you, some experiences in your own life where you can relate to this idea. And I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes. And I just want you to write about whatever came up for you. Even if this example brought you somewhere totally different in your mind, there's no way to mess this up. The point is just to take time to write today and create content. And even if you're thinking, well, what came up for me? I don't know that that's going to go in my solo show. Just write it anyway. Because honestly, our solo shows kind of show us what they want to be. Sometimes it's not the plan that we had. So I'm setting my timer for 8 minutes. I will let you know when your time is up. And if you have any question about the writing prompt or anything, just private message me, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay, go for it. About 4 minutes left. A little over a minute left. Okay, please wrap up your writing. Hopefully you had something interesting or even inspiring come through. And one of the takeaways I would say from that exercise is, a lot of times when I have people come to me to work on their solo shows, and especially if it's about some sort of a hang up or addiction or struggle that they've had, if they don't feel like they've completely solved it or it's 100% fixed, then they go into self-doubt about like, well, what right, do I have to talk about this because I backslide sometimes, or, I still battle with XYZ. And so I want to just say that I think it's so important to recognize our job as solo artists is not to present these perfect, polished versions of ourselves. It's to be authentic and human and to raise dialogue about the struggles that we all go through in life and to offer whatever we can to the audience, even if it's like, I've grown this much, I've seen, I learned this one lesson, like, even if that's it, it's giving other people permission to share their challenges. It's giving other people to share their insights. It's allowing people to know that they're not alone and that people have the same struggles and to find community. So if that's a hang up for you, if that's something preventing you from sharing your story, then I just want to encourage you that you'll never be perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. And that, therefore, there would never be this perfect time to share our stories. So go for it anyway and see how you can use that human struggle of taking 5 steps forward and then 3 steps back and then 10 steps forward and 7 steps back, or whatever that we go through as human beings, as part of your authentic creative expression. It is constant evolution and transformation as human beings. And we can share about our lived experience from whatever stage of our development we're in. Okay, so I'm going to roll into announcements. I put them in the chat. We have a lot of awesome stuff happening in the Soaring Solo community, as always. And tomorrow is my free class, The Art of Creating the One-Person Play. It's a 90-minute experience, and that happens, so Saturday, December 2nd at 10 a.m. on Zoom, 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern. You can just sign up on my website, soaringSoloStudios.com, under free stuff or under events. You'll find it. And, if you're ever curious about working with me in a more professional capacity, just email me, soaringsoloartist@gmail.com, or fill out one of my contact forms on my website. I do initial consultations for an hour for just $69 to talk through whatever questions you might have, look at some samplings of your writing, and set some powerful next steps to you achieving your goals. So it's a great way to begin if you're interested. But no pressure, never any pressure. Also, we have an ongoing virtual reading series called Revealed, and Revealed is a wonderful stake to put in the ground if you don't feel like you're quite ready to perform your show on stage, but you do want to see what's working and not working. We co-produce that with you. Soaring Solos co-produces that with you if you're selected to be in the Revealed series, and you just get to read your script to a virtual audience, and then we have a robust conversation afterwards about what's working, what's not working, what's clear, what's unclear, and hopefully just give you some confidence and support moving forward into actually staging and producing your show in person. So email me if you'd like to know more about that. And the next FREEWrite Friday is happening on Friday, January 26th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Just sign up the same way you did today, although I don't think my assistant has it on the website just yet. So check back over the next couple days and it should be on there for you to sign up for. And I will definitely send email blast reminders as well. And then again, you can visit my YouTube channel to watch all the replays of FREEWrite Friday. And I have a couple hundred different videos of all sorts on my YouTube channel. And I always recommend getting involved in the festival circuit. I think festival circuits are such a great way to build reviews for your electronic press kit, to get award nominations and wins, to network and meet other people who are like-minded, like-missioned, and creative. And there are a lot of different ones, but the one that is happening the first 2 weeks of December, I am co-executive producing with Heather. It's called the Stars series. We've been doing this for several years now, and it's featuring 13 members of the Soaring Solo communities with amazing stories to tell. So visit my website, and you can use your Soaring Solo discount code. So that's Soaring Solo, all one word, all lowercase, for discounted tickets to all the shows. So some of them may already be sold out and some have availability, but I would suggest go see things in person if you possibly can, if you're in the LA area. We're not streaming this particular festival, so I apologize if you're not in LA, unless you want to have a little vacation in December. It is just in person for that. And both Lisa Natali in Grit and Cindy Chavez in Enlightened, who I mentioned earlier, are in that festival. So you can check out their shows. Okay, everyone, I'm going to hop off, but I will leave the chat up for a moment if you want to jot stuff down. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.